Well, good afternoon. This is Connie Melton, an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator here in McKinney, Texas. Thank you for joining me. If you've just found me, my blog is over on my website at conniescraftroom.com. And today I want to talk to you a little bit about using up scraps. Now, I know that's normally when I talk about using up paper scraps, but that's not what I'm doing today. If any of you are quilters like me, or seamstress, or, excuse me, sorry. I also do machine embroidery, and I end up with scraps left over, just little teeny tiny giblets, as my grandmother used to say. So I'm going to use some of those today. And guess what? Our dies cut them out beautifully. So what I've taken, I'm doing everything black and white except for the leaves and stems. I've got a 5.5 by 8.5 piece of paper, cardstock rather, scored at 4 1/4 just to make an A2 size card. Then I cut 2 pieces of white down 1/4 inch. So this inside piece will be 5 1/4 by 4, as well as the outside piece is the same size, but I ran it through this exposed brick 3D embossing folder. And this makes such a pretty design that's not like in your face. It's just a nice, pretty design in the background. So I'm going to use just plain glue and put it on. Okay, what I did with mine is I used some backing that I had that just irons on. So that's anything like, this is not Wonder Under, but that's a cheap one that you can get at any fabric store. And like Joann's is having all these closeout kind of things. That's bad for them, but good for us. And I ironed that backing on, and I'm just putting it down. I did pick up these little black and white 75 little buttons. They're really cheap, but I also picked up some that look like flowers. I'm not using them today, but that's one of those little things you stick in the background when you find it. And I found these that look like our colors. This looks like the Azure Afternoon. This is the Lemon Lime Twist. This looks like our, oh goodness, mango. I've forgotten the adjective for it. Anyway, these colors look like our colors, so I couldn't resist picking that one up. It was like $2, I think. So I'm not sure when they close out totally, but you can go over and check out some of the. Now I'm just using tiny little drops of glue on the back of the stem, and I'm not even sure how long I'm going to make this stem. So let's just add a little glue there. And this is probably not dry yet. It is not. So I'll stick that under there and run it all the way down. I'll cut that off. Okay, oops, I have a fuzzy. Hang on just a second. My scissors aren't very sharp, apparently. There we go. And then I want to do another one, a little shorter, but I'm going to use some of these on it. Now, for the greeting, I'm not stamping. I'm using some of our ephemera. You can find those in our catalog. There's several different kinds. I'm using the one that's black and white. I'm going to get this at kind of an angle. Okay, and again, I'm going to cut. Hope it does a little better. Yeah, we have liftoff. Okay, now I'm going to put some of these on. Now, after I put the backing on this, I just ran these through some of our dies. Oops, I've got a whisker there. Okay. I ran these through our dies, and they work beautifully. And this is just our green glue that I have in this thing. It's just easier to work with my arthritis. 3 on that one. And then I've got a couple of leaves that I cut out. And this is, I think, just a little bit different and a great way to use that fabric because I hate throwing it in the trash. And I also hate hanging on to these little bitty pieces. All right, now for buttons. I think I want to mix them up a little. I have these little bitty bags that I use when I have little bitty things I'm sending out for people to use. And I don't want them to get lost in the mail, in their envelope. So, I thought black, but maybe, yeah, the white shows up better. Maybe I'll mix them up down here. Yeah. I like that. Hope you do. Okay, so the back of these is flatter on one side than the other. I actually wish that one were a little larger to go with that, the larger size there. But this is all one size. When you're getting them as cheaply as I got these, you really can't complain, I guess. Just using a little glue, and our green glue does dry very quickly. These little buttons are not very tall, so they're not going to cause a problem in the mail. I won't have to pay anything extra for hand stamping. Okay, now do we want to use white with black or black with white? Our ephemera, like this pack, comes with all sorts of things. Happy Valentine's, Happy Mother's Day, even a sympathy, Happy Holidays. I have apparently used the Happy Birthday on that one. That's a big Happy Birthday there. There should be a small, there's a Sending Hugs is cute. Here's a smaller Happy Birthday. It's black with white, and I think that's my preference anyway. Oh, one thing I did not bring over here, does not look like. I am cutting out things today for next Monday's card class, so that's why my desk is such a mess. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking to it. Okay, let's use some tiny pieces. All right, these are the smaller dimensionals. We do have 2 sizes. This is the smaller one. Yes, that will work. I don't have to cut it down. Okay. We want to put it up here. I think I'm going to put it there. Leave white space. It's hard for me to do. I want to fill in all available space, but sometimes we need to leave some white space. All right, Happy Birthday. And now I'm just gonna put this on the front. With tape. Center it. I don't know about you, but I find it easier to center it if I have the card shut versus open. Okay. And now for the inside. Oops, got the backing off of one of those little mini dimensionals. They do tend to go everywhere. Okay, now I saved one for the inside. I'm just going to put it down here at the bottom. And I do think the white was a better contrast. I'm going to go with the white button on the inside. And there we go. It's a cute little happy birthday card. Let me know what you think. And if you are not already a subscriber to my channel, I would appreciate if you would do that. And have a lovely day.